Welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z on the cusp of being a young millennial, documenting my financial journey here on YouTube and over on my Instagram at Zennial Finance. Wait, before you click off this video because you see IRS, we're going to be talking about something real fun, which is taxes, and more specifically, how I estimate my tax liabilities. So it is about the first week of July, which means we are halfway through the tax year here in the United States, and I'm going to use the IRS Tax Withholding Estimator tool that the federal government, the IRS, provides, and I'm going to walk through this withholding estimator with y'all and see if I am on track with withholding enough money in taxes. For the most part, my tax situation is pretty simple, which we will see, but there are a couple things I just need to keep in mind. So we're just going to go ahead and start. We start with my filing status. I am single, no dependents. Will I hold a job this year with paychecks from which federal income tax is withheld? Yes. How many jobs? So I'm expecting 2 jobs. I have my full-time job and then I do have a part-time job. I actually just quit that at the end of June. So that is no longer an active job, but it tells you to include jobs you no longer hold. No pension income, no social security, no scholarship, did not collect any unemployment compensation. I will earn some income from self-employment, which we were talking about. I will receive investment income such as dividends and interest, no other taxable income, and then neither of these things apply to me. So for my first job, do I expect to hold this for the entire year?
Yes, preferably am I paid bi-weekly? What date did your most recent pay period end? It was actually on the 2nd.
The total wages I expect to receive this year. So at the beginning of the year, I was at $60,000 and now I'm at $61,800 with like a little bit of a raise I got. I'm just not gonna really worry. I'm just gonna put in 61,000, and then I've already received a bonus of 2,100. And then it says using your last pay statement, enter the federal income taxes withheld. I have gone ahead and already looked at this. So year to date, I've had $1,983.37 in federal income tax withheld, and per pay period, that was $130. Do you contribute to a tax deferred retirement plan such as a 401k? I do. So to the pre-tax 401k, I anticipate doing about $16,500. I do have a Roth 401k where I put the other $3,000 or so in, but obviously since that is after tax, I wouldn't include that here as tax deferred. Do you contribute to an HSA, FSA, or another pre-tax credit account? I do. And then I am going to contribute $3,100 this year. The max for 2021 is $3,600, but my company contributes $500 on my behalf, so I can only contribute $3,100 to get the tax break. Next, for my second job, it's the same questions. Do you expect to hold this for the entire year? No, as I talked about, I actually did quit this job.
So I'm holding it from January 1st through my last pay period ended the 2nd.
So total wages I've earned this year has been $1,325, no bonuses. And then here's the interesting thing. So at this part-time job, I don't meet the threshold to have any income tax withheld because I do have extra taxes being withheld from my full-time job, and that is already counted up here in this year-to-date federal income taxes withheld. So for this, I have to say 0. I do contribute to a tax-deferred retirement plan. It is not a 401k. It's technically like a 401a, I believe. And for that, I contributed $99, and then no FSA or HSA at this job. Other sources of income. So, estimate of investment income such as dividends and interest. This also includes capital gains. If you've watched my earlier videos, you might have remembered that a couple of months ago, I initiated a transfer from M1 Finance, where my taxable account was being held, to Vanguard. And in doing that, I learned some valuable lessons. I made a mistake with that transfer. It ended up being a little bit costly, as you will see, because I decided to just sell everything that I had in my M1 Finance account, and it was all in ETFs, but I didn't want to be in ETFs. I just really wanted to move it all into a mutual fund as much as possible because that's just my preferred method. I prefer the index or mutual fund version to the ETF. So pretty much I sold all of my holdings in that M1 account and then reinvested the money in an index fund. And in doing that, I did end up getting some short-term capital gains because I had not held the securities I had in my M1 Finance account for over a year before I sold them. And so my guesstimate of the capital gains is about $700. Again, it's really not that big of a deal, especially at my income level. It's not that harmful or anything like that, but it's just, it's a lesson I learned. And then if I actually come to, this is my YNAB budget, which you've seen my channel before, you are very familiar with with this. I actually have this line item here that's interest and cashback, and year to date I have in total had about $500. So this is saying $500 so far this year. This is saying $700 for the capital gains. I've already done $500 in extra interest, and then I'm just going to guesstimate on the rest of the year for dividends. We're just gonna do another $300 so that this is up to $1,500. So I'm gonna say that my estimate of investment income is gonna be $1,500 for the year. Again, this is just an estimate. And then for my self-employment income, so I do have this YouTube channel that is monetized, and I don't make a lot. I make about like 60 or 70 bucks per month. And then I do sell a dashboard, which you can always find in the description box down below, to kind of help track your net worth and your passive income and things like that. So again, if we go to YNAB, but this is now like my kind of business budget, I call it, you can see in here I've brought in $775, but 150 of that is kind of like my startup money. It wasn't like actual real income. It's really closer to like $625, and so that's for about half of the year. So $600 for half of the year, I'm just gonna say my net self-employment income is gonna be about $1,200. And then I've actually yet to pay any estimated income tax on the self-employment income, so we're just gonna say 0. And I'm gonna say next. Adjustments to income, I'm gonna say no. And then you have the option to kind of enter in estimates and projections for some itemized deductions, but I don't think I'll be itemizing. I'm just gonna take the standard deduction. So I'll say next. And then you can see some tax credit opportunities, but again, I don't think I will qualify for any of these. So I'm just gonna say see my results without tax credits. Next. And so this is saying that I will owe approximately $400, and we're just going to round this up, $450. They expect that, based on what I've entered so far, that I will have $3,600 withheld throughout the year, and they actually anticipate my total tax liability of $4,100. So that's how they get to that. So it will actually tell me how I should update my W-4 so that the appropriate amount of money is withheld, so that I can either get a refund of, approximately 0, or, however much I want as a refund. It will tell me how much extra I need withheld to achieve that. So if I just wanted to not owe anything but also not get a refund, it's telling me that I will need approximately 167 withheld from each paycheck, which is 37 more than my current tax withholdings. So it will literally explain to me how to complete a new W-4 form so that it does this. And then as you scroll further down, it just reviews and provides a summary for all of the information that I entered. So in total, my pre-tax income is expected to be somewhere around that $67,000 mark. Non-taxable payroll deductions, $19,500, making my net income $47,400. And then based on my standard deduction of $12,500, my taxable income will be $34,500. And then it just kind of shows a breakdown of what my tax liability is and everything like that. So I find this really, really useful and helpful. So I am going to actually go into my employee portal and update my W-4. So like I said, right now I already have about $10 a paycheck extra being withheld. And this is saying that I need to up that number to $32. I'm actually just going to put that as $33 withheld from each paycheck on the form. That will give me like a net pay of $1,100 exactly. I mean, with some like change at the end, I think it's like going to be like $1,100 and like 25 cents. So I'd rather do that than like $1,101.25. So that's what we're going to do. This is a great tool. This is probably like the 4th or 5th time I've used it. I try to use it at the beginning of the year to project for the entire year, and then midway through the year with any changes or to kind of get a better idea of what my income will be for the later half of the year. So I recommend doing it about twice a year, or really anytime your situation changes, if it's going to be a change in filing status from single to married or married to single or whatever, or you get a new job, a new stream of self-employment income, anything like that. That is kind of when I like to use this estimator. So that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know if you've ever used this tax withholding estimator and how useful you have found it for yourself. I just think it's a great way for you to be prepared for any potential tax liability you will have. So as always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.